Speaking of public personas, wanted to get to this one. Me and Kenya had a back and forth on the timeline about Joseline. I put a video in the jumbo. Joseline Hernandez, she was out with her beautiful daughter, Bonnie Bella, and her husband, and they were eating food. Her daughter had a yellowtail whole fish. Looked pretty good to me, I'm not gonna lie. But Kenya made a comment and she said that basically Joseline is a great mother because how well mannered, how well spoken Bonnie Bella is. I thought that was very, very interesting considering Joseline's public persona that we've seen. So I said the grace that you give Joseline is interesting. And so she said she left a toxic situation with Stevie J. She's now married. She's created her own show. And I said she's also had a degenerate show because it's surrounded by promoting being a
You're
stripper.
breaking up, Rashad.
Oh, let me hear me better.
You can continue, but you were just breaking
So
up.
I was saying that there were things like promoting that show, which is promoting stripper, drug allegations, fighting, run-ins with the law that were missed or not spoken about. And we still attribute her to being a good mom to the likes of we don't see that with situations like a DDG or something like that. Do we think that the behavior outside of being in front of your children has an impact on how you raise your children? Because there is a lot of grace that is given where Kenya was giving to her, and where I found it interesting. I don't think that if a guy had that type of behavior, he would be considered a great dad. So I just wanted to
I
understand how
mean,
y'all felt about that.
absolutely, Rashad, because she's speaking to the point of look at the child. The child is well mannered. The child is not a reflection of what we see, right? So clearly there's other things going on in the home. I absolutely believe that 1000%. You naggers only get what the fuck I give y'all on Twitter, you know? My Twitter persona is not me as a mom. Honestly, if y'all seen me as a mom, y'all would think I was probably a Karen. Um, but I think that it's good. Certain people have the ability to, she can be Jocelyn, the Puerto Rican princess, and she also can be Chanelica, the mother, right? To Bonnie Bella. She is a wife. And clearly you don't get kids like that being, a dysfunctional parent. So I think that absolutely you can, I think as a parent, you're a parent, but you also have your, like, just like if you're in a relationship, you also have your individual lifestyle. I don't think that the two intertwines until it comes to a situation where, the parenting has to be questioned, right? I'm trying to think of an example. Oh Jesus, I'm only getting terrible ones. I'm trying to find somebody that's alive, because the first thing that popped into my mind, I don't know why, was like Bobby Christina, or Christina Bobby, a Whitney Houston daughter, right? Are certain people, and that's super extreme, but I'm trying to find somebody that, where you kind of look at the, like, okay, we know these people, they were good and the kids are fucked up, so yeah. Oh, well, no, Will Smith, my sister's talking about Will Smith. No, his kids are kind of okay, right? But, well, their relationship is
That
chaotic.
Willow's crazy as a roach.
Huh?
Yeah, well,
Willow crazy as a
Willow, hold
roach.
on, wait, but Willow is a very talented, very, she did her thing. She's got, yeah, the crying, who ate all the pussy is kind of insane. Yeah, those kids are interesting, but, as far as their careers, they're kind of successful. So I don't know. But I think just with Kenya's not here, so I don't know what her exact points, and I'll get off the mic, but if she was speaking to Jocelyn being Jocelyn and the kid being amazing, I don't think we should dig deeper on Jocelyn. I think the
right.
kid is a great explanation for her parenting.
Mhm. Can I say this? And I think, again, Rashad has been on this DDG thing for a long time. And I think it's probably time for you to get off
I
it.
just brought it up because that's
No,
the first thing
no,
that came to
and the
mind.
but reason why I'm saying that is because DDG needs you on that team, because you fighting battles ain't nobody even saying, okay?
Somebody give him my number.
Now we go, that's ew.
I'll tell him. He's
No,
probably gonna
no,
chow
no,
me
no,
out.
no. Don't give him anything, Pixie.
Y'all gonna
Rashad needs
get
to
like
get
a clean
Rashad needs some shame. We
clean.
gonna put some shame on this nigga head. But the reason why, but I was gonna say, so Rashad, there's plenty of male counterpart examples. You have her baby daddy. Okay, number one, Stevie J is her baby daddy of Bonnie Bella. When you watch Love and Hip Hop, Stevie J and the daughter he had with Mimi, they show like the night and day experience of him being an ain't shit nigga and telling bitches to get on the bus, and then him being a father and being very loving and gentle with his daughter. He also has he has several other children and has really, really good relationships with his children. It's a little scrappy. Scrappy got kids, terrible ass nigga on a show with, you know what I'm saying, with this particular like player lifestyle and doing all these extra things. And then you shoot to how he was with his daughter and how he has such a close relationship with her and how the children are examples of the parenting. Joseline is not the first person to kind of have this outlandish persona and then actually be really, really, really great parents because they know how to separate the two. So to me, I completely agree with Kenya's point. Grace for what? She's a testament to resilience. Yeah, I agree. Like Joseline, has been on record saying she did have a problem with coke. She was honest about that. She do be on these shows fighting and stuff. She hasn't been in and out of jail. She has had run-ins, but she hasn't been a person outside of like reality TV to be this kind of like reckless person. But if you remember, well, not you, but those that know, if you follow it from the moment she gave birth, she was extremely, extremely intentional about moving out of Atlanta and moving to Miami to give her daughter a better life. So it's like, that's a number one reason why she's out of Atlanta and moved to Miami and ain't moved. And she wanted her daughter to have English and Spanish speaking and put her in school. And then that is why she settled down with Ballistic and she met Ballistic. Ballistic is like a second father to her. Like she created a very stable environment with even extended family that's in Florida. So that way her daughter wouldn't have to be all over the place because of her public life. So I think she absolutely should get praised as for being a good mom. That little girl ain't never looked raggedy, ain't never looked crazy. She seems very smart. I don't think there's any slights to her because of what she chooses to do as a profession.
10, what's the word?
The word is, Rashad, if you must know, when we came up with the title Double-Minded Negroes, they wasn't talking about the men, apparently.
Jesus Christ, I knew you was gonna bring it up. Thank you. Thank you.
It's a lot of double-mindedness going on in here today.
Now, where was y'all when Stevie J was doing what he was doing and y'all was saying he was a good dad? I want to know. Hello?
Nobody ever said Steve Jobs was no good dad. We call him a sleazeball, please.
Yeah, he is a
Yes.
sleazeball and a good dad. Y'all
You can't be
niggas
both.
be the
You
ones
can't be
that say
both.
that y'all could be cheaters and loving husbands.
I
So what you
never
talking
even
I
about?
I
think
never even
public
seen that nigga with
so
kids
Nobody
I
said
heard
before.
that.
y'all
wait,
talk
wait,
Nobody.
wait,
about
wait,
y'all
wait,
could
wait,
do
wait.
two things at once all the time.
To
When he
Jonah's point,
lying?
I think that he's not
Oh,
talking
okay.
about on the show. We're talking about public persona. Nobody looks at
hmm
Stevie J and says, knowing his history, Stevie J is a good dad. And so, as
People
opposed to
do. If
this
you know the
video,
daughter, people do.
I don't think that that's the mass majority.
Well,
There
mass
there are
majority
people
don't
out here
watch
who
a
do it.
show like Love and Hip Hop, Rashad.
Well, the mass majority looks at the daughter and say, "Oh, she must have a good mom," because the dad don't even be
Yes,
thought about in mass majority. If
yes.
we keeping it a
Well,
bean.
remember the daughter too. Okay, but that's my point. When y'all look at Stevie J's daughter outside, not this one. Mimi was on a shower pole on a porn. So what is we talking about?
Not a good mother,
Okay, but if you look at
not
the
a good
daughter, you
father.
would not see that. So she has something good. Like these kids ain't raising themselves. So when y'all see the children turn out decently, you can't just say, "Oh well, that no." People can be dual. There's duality. I know y'all want to say double
Yeah,
minded, but
yeah,
there's
double mind. Come on,
duality.
there you go. No, it's double
No,
minded.
it's
No,
not. There's
double minded.
duality.
No, it's not. It's
We
not. It's not. Your public actions affect your children, no matter how much you try to shield them from it or not. There's no way. Like, do you not know? Like on a regular basis, how many kids get bullied in school because they mama decide to show their pussy to the internet? Please,
Mm.
Please.
Yes, because guess what? When Bonnie Bella get to high school, they gonna bring up cocaine. They gonna bring up
Right. It's
stripping.
just
They gonna bring up love and
because
hip
she's
hop.
still in that middle school, elementary school age from what she appears to
But
be.
if they,
But
Hold on.
soon as she get to high school, it's up. Now all them sins that you thought, oh yeah, I was sheltering from them, I kept it from, I did my job as a good parent. Your child gonna have to pay for it because they going to school with teenagers that are finna be adults. So your best way to is don't be double minded. Walk in what you believe in and don't do salacious shit that could come back and haunt your children. How about that?
Hmm.
but
Well, let
that
me
she
let me
wouldn't
go
be the
through
first person to
everybody's
do
page
that.
and make sure they ain't doing nothing salacious that could come back on their children.
Hold on,
Rashad,
well,
10. Let's
Never
make
did it.
sure.
Well,
Never did it in
you
my
ain't
life.
gonna find nothing. Go ahead, go
You're
look.
not gonna
You
find
don't
it on
hold
find
on,
mine.
nothing.
Rashad, but still, that's still kind of weak to say because there's so many people that we know grew up in situations where parents was probably on drugs. I know my fave Nicki Minaj, her dad was on crack. Okay, I don't think that
Turned into a
because
pill head. Now,
hold on, wait, let me
tracks to
finish.
me.
Ten, I
Tracks
know
to
you're
me.
passionate about degrading women
This
and
ain't
shit
degraded.
like
This a
that,
fact. Two plus
but
two still equal four on the
but her,
planet. Y'all know
hold
that,
on,
right?
wait, but come on now. It's Sunday. Y'all don't know shit about a testimony. I don't think that them bringing up, her past to where she is now and the things that she's built on top of it is just a drag. I think she's well aware that she's Joseline Hernandez. She's still on fucking Zeus. The kid is on the show. So I just didn't understand that correlation, but go off.
Go ahead, Pixie. What's the word?
Sorry, I
Pixie
wasn't.
once.
Yeah, I hear
Oh.
you. So my bad. I don't know, man. I really do believe in duality, and I just believe that, like, for example, a lot of people, especially when it comes to celebrities, right? Especially when it comes to female celebrities. A lot of the time, sex sells, and that's what they have to. Even if they're not showing ass or anything like that, they have to sell some kind of exude some kind of sexuality. That doesn't mean that they're not going to be a good mom. That doesn't mean that they're not going to go ahead and do that. I personally feel that scrutiny is going to come in any kind of way, shape, or form. But if the kid shows, there's plenty of times that even if because adults are not perfect people and parents don't go into things being perfect people. It's not like you were a shitty person or like did a lot of mistakes and then boom, you're a parent. All of a sudden, you're this Hail Mary of a person. I think it's something that people grow and continue to grow. And a lot of the time, it's like, you know what? I may be this kind of person, but I'm not going to go ahead and make my daughter do that. I'm not going to make my son do that. They got to do better than me. That's a lot of the time. As a parent, I would hope that your ego is not so big that you want your children to transcend you. I would hope that that's what you would want to do. And that means also in the way that they move, the way that they act, all that kind of stuff. So I feel like there could be two things at the same time. Like, I don't see what the problem is.
Yeah, I think it's very difficult, very, very difficult, to be one way outside the house and be another way inside the house. That's just my own personal view. Uh, it's going to bleed over in some aspect, right? And the things that we do know that are negative isn't based on a show or based on persona or based on character, right? It's who she was, right? She was doing drugs because that's who she was, not because of selling something, right? She was stripping because that's where she was in her life, right? She is on Justin's Cabaret, and that you can say she's playing up a character, but she is also taking it to another level when it comes to fighting and one, just having the show and promoting a degenerate
Mm-hmm.
lifestyle. And so those things, that's a mindset, right? Those are actions that she does have to take accountability for. You saying that you have to sell something, you don't have to.
But that,
You
Do
really don't
niggas say
have to
this
sell
about
but
something.
they,
Mari? Did they say this about Jerry Springer? Did you niggas was in an uproar when Mari was having the degenerate show for
Good
decades?
point.
Did y'all
very
hear?
good point,
What
actually.
what Mari? I was three. Please.
But what is that?
I
No, you
wasn't
were
no
not
damn
310.
3 years
You really
old.
think you
Mari was
22.
See,
Like, you
please.
niggas
gotta
be
relax.
Like,
lying.
what you
You
talking
are
about a
not,
young
like,
nigga?
Niggas be
Maury, like,
lying.
y'all gotta stop saying stuff that sounds
No,
good.
but this is what I'm
Niggas
saying.
don't
This is what I'm saying.
understand.
Well, hold
Use
on, wait.
perfect
This
examples.
is
Now
why I
y'all
made
niggas
the
saying what, what,
this is
what,
this is
who?
why I made the differentiation, right? Because Mari is clearly playing up something, right? He's hiring actors to do this
Those aren't
shit.
actors.
And
Don't
Those
so
are
use
what I'm
real
saying,
actors.
people. What are you
hold
talking
Come
on,
on,
about?
talking
Those
about
are
Rashad.
not
Jerry
Let's
Springer.
actors.
He
don't
talking
put
about
on
no,
Jerry.
actors
Maury,
He talking
cap
about
today.
Jerry
listen,
Springer.
all the, oh no,
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 Maury
Maury
did
did
not have
hire
no
actors.
actors.
Jerry had the actors, Rashad. If you want to make the
Oh,
point,
okay.
brother.
Well, it's clear. It's clear that one, Maury is not a part of the show, and like I said, if you're playing up a character, I can understand. So that's why I said with Joseline, if she were playing up a character to get ratings and sell, that is one thing. But the things that we've seen Joseline do is not because of a show or not on a show. This is her personal life things that she is getting caught up on. So even if you say, oh, Joceline's Cabernet,
But you're
cool,
moving
I
the
don't necessarily
point.
think
You're
you should have
moving the
that type of
goalpost.
show.
You're moving
But
the
the other things
you
are still all
keyword
right.
was you said was exactly. And in my point I said that people grow past that. People do things. People go ahead and elevate. And especially even if you maybe in some ways are continuing in ways like God's still working on me. I'm obviously still making certain mistakes, but my daughter will not. You know, you can still go ahead and raise a decent human being. A lot of the time even kids will be like, you know what, my mom, like, you know, when she gets older, I'm assuming the girl could be like, you know what, my mom was X, Y, and Z, but I'm not going to do that. And then her mom is probably going to be like, you know what, absolutely, you should definitely not do that because that's not what I want you to do. So like you guys, not you guys, I'm sorry, like generally we have to stop going ahead and thinking that the public perception of things is going to dictate every single move that you make internally in your life, within people, within your family, because it's not, and it shouldn't.
Your public perception comes from what you do in your life.
No, 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 no. Okay, hold on now. So now let's bring this down to something a bit more realistic outside of Jocelyn. Because if that is the concept, then what that would tell me is that every single thing any of us on this stage has tweeted, said on this stage represents themselves in real life. And I doubt it. Rashad, let's just use you for
Absolutely not.
example. The way that you
Oh,
say quality,
it represents me.
BBL, this.
I ain't gonna hold you.
Okay,
Everything
so
I tweet,
He
ten.
I
There's
he
stand
no,
threw a
there's
behind.
party
no
for
way
Diddy when
that
he
no,
got
it
out.
don't because you. So okay, so we'll get to you in a second, ten.
Pull
So
up a tweet.
Rashad,
Pull up a tweet. Watch how I stand by.
no, no,
100%.
no. We don't got to pull between. We could go off how you act in here. So we'll go to Rashad, right? So Rashad, you talk about the quality BBLs and all those other extra things. I guarantee
Celebrated
you,
Diddy coming
you're
home.
celebrating Diddy and you have a daughter. So there is a certain level of that might be your concept, but you don't view your baby like that. You also have said that when it comes to your child, you have the fingertip rule where you want to make sure that she's looking a certain type of way because just because you view women in the world one way, don't mean that that's how you function as a parent. 10, I guarantee you, you better bitches, 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 as you going around calling the women in your life
Pack him
bitches.
up.
I don't think so.
I
Like
be
you're not,
saying this in front
there's,
of my mom.
now
My
did I say,
mom,
but I didn't say that you say stuff in front of your mom. I said, do you call the women in your life bitches?
yes,
You call your mother a bitch?
yes. Sometimes.
Okay, and there's a problem with you then. I
No,
don't know
it's
what to
A
not.
tell you.
serious problem.
Hey, hold on, wait. I don't get the correlation between me liking a certain body type and how
No,
that
what I'm
reflects
saying
on
is
my.
that I'm saying that because your point was everything that you represent, everything you say publicly equals to what you do in real life. And what I'm saying is that is not the case. Everything that you represent is not necessarily, it can be an exaggerated thing, which is why like, and honestly, I don't even really care what Ten's saying, cause I know for a fact, ain't no nigga from the South calling his mom no bitch. I'm going to
Yeah,
literally
that's
not even
different.
listen
That's
to him.
because you don't
So
know
what
my
I'm saying
mother.
is,
My mother ain't one of them
but
soft
what I'm saying is
assholes.
we're not going to do that because
Like it's a
nobody is
thing
doing
though.
certain things. So that's what I'm saying. There could be exaggerations of strong points, but it's the same. Like it seems like they're different, but to me, it's all the same. It could be an exaggerated expression of something, which is fine. This is an exaggerated expression of a strong opinion or a way of life, but it doesn't mean that's who you are as a whole person because then that means that I'm a Christian and because I'm a Christian, I can't cuss, I can't drink, I can't smoke because it's like there's zero
Or show
duality.
my ass.
Oh, well. Wait a
Well,
minute.
no, you can't
Well,
be.
I don't
Well,
like,
no,
hold
that's
up,
not
Ray,
how.
hold
Well,
Well,
up.
listen,
no,
that's
no,
what
no,
Ray
no. Hold on,
Lewis
hold on, hold
told
on.
No,
Shannon
that's
Sharp.
what somebody tried
Rashad,
to tell me. I
Rashad, hold on,
digress.
Rashad. Now,
Hold on,
Janae,
wait a
no,
I
minute.
no,
digress.
Janae, I thought it was duality.
Wait,
No, I
hold
thought
up,
no,
wait,
she could
wait.
do it. No, she could. See what I'm
Nope,
saying?
that's up
See what
there
I'm saying?
too.
And y'all got to
And
stop.
if anything,
Y'all got to
No,
stop
but you
thinking.
know what I'm saying is the
No, no,
truth
no, no.
now.
Y'all
Stop it.
gotta stop thinking just because you ain't seen somebody live the life that they speaking on that you don't think it exists. Niggas do actually tweet what they believe and stand by 100% all the time. Just because y'all like duality don't mean there aren't people out here who
But
don't.
no, but there are people that are dual, and you're one of them, 10. Like, so I get
I'm
it.
not
I
that
understand that
dual.
you, I,
I'm not dual at all.
I,
but
you,
what
you
Don't think
are,
what
that.
you are.
Don't
but
think
we
that.
used
Don't think
to
I'm dual.
judge the
Do not
kids
think that.
as a reflection as the parents. So I don't understand why that just can't be that. Yeah, we see
Yeah.
Because
Jocelyn
I
being
think
who
that
she is, but
Jocelyn,
we see the kids and it's like, oh damn, she must be an amazing parent because still the kid is amazing. Like
yeah,
Literally.
I think that Jocelyn
so
is
give some grace,
she
Rashad.
is a woman of means. Hold on, she is a woman of means, right? So that's one. And so the looking good, obviously, I don't think that she's a bad mother or terrible mother. That wasn't the purpose of this. The purpose was to explore, in my opinion, the double standard and the duality, right? I think she is a woman of means, and where her child does look good, she is well spoken and is well mannered. But there is an aspect of Jocelyn is still out here doing these things. Like Bray said, she still is on Zeus, right? And acting how she's acting, right? And so to Pixie's point of maybe she might have grown, no, she's still in that
No,
shit.
she's see, you don't subscribe to the show. I don't necessarily subscribe, but I do follow her, so I do keep up with the clips. She has gotten a lot better. It's more production wise. She let them other girls handle her shit. But she has gotten better, Rashad. So I think that's probably the context that you're the disconnect.
But even still promoting a show
Listen,
about
if
stripping
y'all
and having
gonna
a daughter.
mention like living your life right in some form of, I don't think anybody said Christianity, but it sounds like y'all leaning towards the spirituality world, right? That means you also redemption. You believe in redemption, and you also believe that people have room to grow. So you can't not be for that. And then with
Exactly.
Tay, you think it's one way, but it's the other. So if you're for that, you can't
Shout out
speak
to Rick.
against what Jocelyn is saying. And that's my message for Sunday.
Yeah, I don't, like I said, I think that that is a very good message to preach when you have removed yourself from these things. When you have not removed yourself, but still speaking on redemption, then it becomes double minded and it becomes trying to escape
But
accountability,
that's not
right?
No,
Because you are
true.
still in
That's
that
not
place.
you're
true.
trying to preach perfection, and we know that that
Yeah,
doesn't
No,
perfection is
no,
exist.
no,
not the
I'm
same
not. I
thing.
So
don't think, hold
Rashad,
on.
come
I
on
don't
now.
think from not
If we look
promoting,
into
not
your life,
promoting, no, 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 no. I'm saying not promoting stripper culture and degenerate behavior doesn't equal perfection.
yeah, but that's degenerate to you. That's subjective to you. It's some people who grow up with a sense of they growing up on baddies. I'm seeing some people growing up on sexy red. I'm not saying that I would do that, right? But I've learned that it's not necessarily what's wrong and what's right. It's what you were taught what's wrong and what's right. And that's subjective to you. Just like when we were
I
having
never
the,
met a
hold on,
happy
wait.
stripper.
Just like how we were having the Republican and the Democrat debate, and in regards to that man being at school, and it's something as simple as him feeling, having right wing views that people feel like, okay, we got to shut him up because he can mutate at school. So I think this is like similar on the lines of that. You can't just say that it's degenerate culture, because Jocelyn isn't necessarily black. She's Hispanic. So I don't know if y'all ever scroll
Yeah,
past
What
Telemundo,
does
that's a
that
but
have
low
the
to do
bar,
with
shows
this?
on
right?
there
What
is
does
too
her
much productive.
what does her race have to do with
Hold on, wait.
degenerate
I think that that's
culture?
a low bar.
What the fuck?
To say that stripping is not degenerate, then
No,
nothing
I'm
must be
saying
degenerate
to
then.
to
If
what
stripping is
to
not.
who culture though. You're speaking as a black man, like Jocelyn is interfering with your culture.
No, I'm not. No, I'm one. There is a culture, but even outside of black culture, stripping
Okay.
is
Well,
degenerate because if not,
but can I
then
say
nothing
something too
is.
though? But this is the thing that I feel like, all right,
Y'all trying
so,
to spin
so
me.
if y'all want to have a real conversation, it gets real and then y'all want to start hollering and screaming. My point is this. When you talk degenerative culture, right? We know what degenerative behavior is, right? We get it. But
Apparently
why,
not. Apparently not.
well, let me finish.
Come on,
Let
10,
me finish.
nigga,
Let
please.
me finish.
Hold on, wait. Let her finish. Then we
When
got
you're
fresh.
talking about it, why are we thinking, especially as, okay, because I could have sworn I see several believers in here. you don't think that there is a level of degeneracy to the things that you are also not doing, and you're thinking that what
Yeah,
you
niggas
just
say
get
the
a
space is
pass?
degenerate.
Like, I don't understand. Like, there is 1000% degeneracy to stripping, right? But then there's also degeneracy to how men are speaking to women, how women are speaking to men,
How they present themselves on
how
social
y'all push
media.
up single behavior, how y'all are, like, what are we talking about? How the street culture, hood nigga shit,
Low ankle
all of
socks.
this shit that y'all ascribe to, hatred. Like, there's a whole bunch of degeneracy that we're talking about that I feel like if we're gonna go there, I just don't believe that any levels of degeneracy in someone's behavior equates to them not being a fit parent. That's the point of the conversation. Because
Exactly,
there's plenty of
Johnny.
degeneracy that I see on this stage. I'm just saying that.
Okay,
And
no,
Yeah, that was my
I don't
exact
think
point.
that means that every man and every woman is not a good
no.
parent.
No,
Simple.
no,
Nick
no, no, no,
cannot
no, no,
Nick
no, no.
pick.
Real quick. No,
Hold on,
real
wait.
quick.
Go ahead, Tim.
No level of degeneracy can infer that a person is not a good parent, right? Crackheads, right?
That's
They
not
have
what I
babies.
said.
That's what you just said.
I didn't
That's what
say
you
You
just
did
no
say
said.
that.
level.
All
No,
right,
no,
You
no, no,
did
no,
all
say
no,
right,
no,
that.
no, 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 no.
all right.
No, y'all
I
niggas
said
trying to
I
spin that.
have
Y'all heard
seen, no,
exactly what the
now
fuck she
let me
said.
say it again so that way y'all can use what I said specifically.
No,
I
I don't
said
need the remix.
I have
You got it.
seen
You
different
don't. No, no, no,
levels
no, no,
of
no.
degeneracy on this stage, and
No, no,
that
no.
does not equate to y'all not being good parents. I didn't say
We
no
ain't
level of
talking about
I
us.
didn't say no level.
You did say
Don't
that.
worry about it,
We gonna bring the
don't
combo.
worry about
Don't
it,
get hung up
We gonna
on
bring the
cause
one
this is
combo.
the
word.
thing,
Y'all
y'all.
heard
I've
what
already
she
But
told
said.
you, and
she
I'm gonna
did
have to tell you
clarify.
again now. 10. You
She
cannot.
did
No, that's what I
clarify.
said. Cause I'm talking about
But
y'all
that's
niggas.
Okay, the
still that
timestamp's gonna
So
one
what are
come.
you
word
talking
The
doesn't
about?
defeat
timestamp's gonna come.
everything that she said. Come on now. Let's not
It's
be
one
let's
No,
second.
no,
not
The
no. The
timestamp's
timestamps are
gonna
gonna
come.
come, and
Let's
what I'm also gonna
hold on.
do is
Wait.
pull up receipts for the both of you, since y'all want to act like there's only one level of degeneracy.
That
yeah,
we
cause
not saying
Rashad, it's
that.
a bunch of
Okay, so
shit
that's
you
my
We
be
point.
saying
Yeah,
that
we not
makes you
saying
seem
that.
like an
Y'all
unfit
saying that.
nigga.
And well, let's make sure ain't neither you are degenerate,
hold on.
because both of y'all are parents.
Go ahead. Go
Oh
ahead,
please.
Fresh.
Yeah,
To
so I
hear
was
this from
listening
people that
to.
got their ass in they fucking Abby talk about
Hey, hey,
degeneracy.
hey,
Hold on,
Please.
wait, 10, hold on, wait. Before you
Please.
go, let me address that, right?
Please.
So, 10,
Please. Nothing you can say
listen,
can
go
make it
through my
okay.
media and
Nothing.
find another pic.
It
Okay?
don't
I can do
matter.
Hold
whatever the
on.
fuck I want to do on my page, sir. And when I decide to change it, I can. I'm getting the niggas without posting my ass. How many
It,
times have you seen my
it,
ass and you've been
it,
on here?
it
Let's
doesn't
not,
matter. I don't
nigga.
follow you,
I'm
ma'am.
doing
I
it
will never
because
see
I
it.
can, nigga. Don't
That
come for
doesn't
me
mean
and what the fuck I
anything. Your
decide to do with
excuses
my
doesn't
body.
mean
You
nothing.
wear low
It's,
ankle socks,
it's
nigga. You wear
still
no show
degenerate.
socks. As a grown ass man, nigga.
Right.
Don't say shit.
Listen, this ain't the Bray and Ted back and forth. We gonna get to stay to the topic. Go
Nigga.
ahead, Fresh.
uh,
Double mute. Jesus. Fist in the
The next
air.
one, break. Turn
My
your
If
bad,
you
ass a
Fresh. It's
if
little
you
bit
didn't
to the
if
left, a
you
anti.
little
did
bit
not
more.
Rashad, just one thing real quick. If you didn't think it wasn't degenerate, you wouldn't have to defend it so hard. But
No,
you know,
nigga,
hey,
no,
I'm
I'm
just saying.
defending
I'm just saying,
you
Rashad.
even
I'm
mentioning
just
it.
saying. I'm
You
just
mentioning
saying,
it
Rashad.
like it's a,
Okay, we got it. We got it. We got it. I promise.
you
We got
mentioning it
it.
like it's
I
a
promise
drag.
we did. I think we got it. Go ahead, Fresh.
Hey, y'all blowing my high, man.
Go ahead, Fresh. What's the word? Long ass mute. Never seen nothing like it. Hey, Zoo. That's for my Spanish
Who
boy,
speaking
the
they hit
hell
me,
is
friends.
Anyway, so
Jesus?
double
boy,
mute.
I'm bilingual.
they
Who the
hit me
hell is
with the,
that?
I'm bilingual. Hey,
they
Jesus,
hit,
man. Listen, bilingual. You
they hit
hating.
me with the ultimate, mute, but shout out to y'all, man. So Rashad, I was just listening to you speak on it. And then obviously I've heard everybody's response and I read some of the things in the Jumbotron. So what I'll say to it, so I heard what Janae offered, and I know that me and Janae are of the same faith, and I hope everybody else can go on to share the same faith. But there's a few things that I understood the sentiment of what she was saying, and I can understand what she was saying, but I think it was married to something that she wasn't saying, and I want to make sure, and it's just my perspective on it, and I want to make sure to, I guess, speak to that. Because, yes, everybody sins, everybody does wrong, right? But there is inherent or intentional, a sin, and within sin, right? And then there's degeneracy, right? And that's typically, due to the degeneration of morals, right? So when we're talking about things like stripping, there was never a time when stripping or prostitution or whatever is considered like upward or moral behavior. And so one cannot still be doing that and be saying, well, I'm going to be redeemed, because if you have no intention to stop the behavior or to change, right? That's why it says be ye transformed. If we're going there, then it's like, it's hollow. Like whatever you're saying is hollow. It's lukewarm. And you know what it says about being lukewarm, right? The Lord says, I will vomit you out of my mouth. You cannot choose the world and choose this. I tell people all the time, I am not sinless. I just sin less. Like I actively try not to sin. I actively try to not do things. Y'all have never heard me get up here and glorify the streets. Y'all ain't never heard me get up here and glorify any type of degeneracy. And I'm not perfect. I'm far from it. I'm probably worse than some of the people y'all think are bad. You know what I mean? I have to check myself every single day at the door and make sure I'm doing those things. So that way I can have that expectation when I'm talking to somebody like, hey, maybe you shouldn't do this or do that. So to what Rashad was saying, I will say this, and I see it every day in the school system. I will say, I'm not going to say she's inherently a bad mother, meaning what she's intending to do, but the example is not great. And then continuing this behavior, and her daughter's going to grow up in the world and see these things. It comes off as do what I say and not what I do. And we know that that's very hard to follow. Right? Like if somebody's not
Mm-hmm.
actively living what they're saying, it's very hard to follow that. That's like the pastor being in the strip club and saying, and coming in there trying to preach the word. You know what I mean? Or pastor doing that. And those are poor pit pimps that do that. And we know that that is a great sin. That's probably the biggest sin. So in line with what Rashad was saying, I understood what he was saying, and I understood what you said, Janae, but I just think there's a fine line between that, because some of what she does and purports, especially everything on Zeus Network, is absolute degeneracy.
I
Like I
agree.
wish they would shut it down. Okay.
I
But
agree with
I just
that.
wanted to go there with it. So cause we agree when it comes to the
Mm-hmm.
word and comes to the spirit.
No,
So
I appreciate you saying that, Fresh, and I'm glad you gave your perspective, because that is the sentiment of what I'm saying. I think, but what happens too often is because, and again, I know this ain't everybody's not necessarily ascribing to this, but I do, and like I said, I hope more people do. But my thing is this: we know what is the degeneracy, right? And we also know people's religious and or faith-based walks will sometimes their behavior don't catch up to what's going on the inside. Sometimes. And what I'm saying is that is exemplified in many different ways. You get what I'm saying? But to your point, first, there's just certain things that just are what they are, and we don't have to make excuses for them. But I also think to believe that you're throwing away the entire person because of something that they may be trying to get out of. Maybe it is something that they're struggling with, and maybe they're just used to it, and they are in prayer time or in their time alone saying, I want to get out of this, and I'm creating a plan to get out of this life. And it just don't seem like it to us, but there is an inner work happening. And to me, when you start to see someone like that getting off drugs, doing these other things, not showing up in clubs, not doing, she might still be a part of that lifestyle. You get what I'm saying? But you're starting to see the areas of change. I'm just saying that it's not always the answer that, okay, this person is a terrible blank because they are still having signs of degeneracy in their life. And sometimes people, just like you said, if you're unteachable, you don't want to change, that shows up in other ways too. So I agree with you, Fresh, and I appreciate your perspective on that.